Hello and welcome to Shed Talks, a series of talks from my shed. The current COVID-19 restrictions are a complete pain, 100% no doubt about it. Now, I'm not making light of the number of lost lives, lost loved ones and lost livelihoods. That is truly tragic. It has been horrendous for a lot of people. For me personally though, it has been an inconvenience, a mere disruption of my normal life. But like many people, if not most of us, it's the restrictions that have been put in place to keep us safe that I find hard to take. At the start of this, in March 2020, we joked that social isolation was something that I had been doing for years. But now, almost a year later, even my patience is wearing thin. The thing about the restrictions is not only that they are very annoying, but in many cases not even sensible or credible. They seem so unequal and even appear as idiotic at times as the politicians and scientists who seem to just dream them up. But even more annoying than all of those things is the attitude of a number of people who think that the rules and the restrictions just don't apply to them. Then they go to great lengths to make excuses to justify their behaviour. Childcare visits to County Durham, lunch meetings at the Savoy Hotel, business trips to the beach in Dubai. I'm exempt because I downloaded a piece of paper from the internet. I'm a key worker, so my kids have to be late at school. And probably the worst of all, I don't believe it's real, so I'm not going to change. People can be very, very selfish and totally self-centered. My mother used to call it an I'm all right Jack attitude, which Wikipedia defines as a British expression used to describe people who act only in their own best interests, even if providing assistance to others would take minimal to no effort on their behalf. Unfortunately, this is just normal human behaviour. It might not be about COVID, but we all have areas in our lives where we can be a bit more self-centered than maybe really we should be. It starts in us as little children and we never grow out of it. We're told not to do something, but we just go right ahead. It started with a piece of fruit in the original garden, and now it manifests itself in many, many other ways. Anytime boundaries are set, even if they're obviously for our own good, we always try and see how far we can go, push them to the limits. And it seems to be the human thing to look for the loopholes, the get-arounds, the backdoor ways of still getting what we want. That's probably why when Moses was given the 10 Commandments, the legal experts ended up drafting over 600 additional rules just to explain the limits of the original instructions. Even to the point where Jesus said to people that they were prepared to strain gnats but swallow camels in their attempts to justify their behaviour and get what they wanted. So what should our attitude actually be? Jesus showed us that we should consider the welfare of others as being at least equal to, if not greater than ours. In all things we should be looking for the greater good of the community than ourselves, just as Jesus did. When it comes down to our behaviour, I suppose it comes down to the spirit of the law as compared to the letter of the law. Just because you are legally entitled to do something, or just because you can do something, doesn't mean you have to. It might be better to put others first and ultimately reap the rewards yourself later on. Jesus gave us 2 commandments, and I'm sure I don't need to remind you of them. How much better would your life be, would our lives be, if we would just stick to them, but without asking, does that mean? And we have 3 questions for us to reflect upon. Question number 1. Spirit or letter? Which one do you choose to follow? Question number 2. Where do you make excuses to get your own way? And question number 3. What makes you so much better than the next person that the rules don't apply to you? If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to leave any questions or comments in the box below. And we'll see you next time.